always so hard to start these videos because I know I'm going to be talking to a large audience once this video is uploaded and going up in my channel, but it's always really nerve-wracking just talking to a camera. So here it goes. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so nervous and so excited, and all kinds of emotions are running through me right now because I've been meaning to make this video for you guys for quite some days now. I'm not gonna say weeks because I just gave birth almost 2 weeks ago, but I wanted to thank you guys for tuning in and just walking with us in this journey as we welcome our baby boy, Vincent. I wanted to do a little different video this time around because this video is very special to me, my husband, and the whole family. So here it goes. Hopefully it's not a very long blah 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 video and you guys kind of imagine yourself there with me as I walk you through some details and walk you through some of the most exciting, nerve-wracking days of my life. And I might tear up, but it's all it's just so beautiful. So here it goes. Okay, everything started February 9th or 10th, I can't remember. It was a Sunday. Everything started actually I'm gonna rewind back to Saturday. Saturday night came around. My husband, my mother-in-law, and I were just here at home, and we were getting ready for bed. And as usual, you know, everybody's just kind of getting comfortable, changing and fixing the bed and, you know, whatnot, what you do before you go to bed. And I happened to have the urge to go to the restroom. I didn't think nothing much of it at the moment because, you know, what are you going to think much more than when you need to go to the restroom, right? Anyways, yeah, so the urge came around and, you know, I did my business, and once I was gonna, maybe it's gonna be a little TMI, but I want to give you as much details as possible so you guys can kind of feel me and kind of feel like you were there with me in this experience. So as I was gonna clean myself and wipe myself, I noticed that I had some blood, and the amount of blood that I had on the paper itself was enough for me to freak out and to think like, oh crap, what's going on? At that moment I was 30, maybe if 38 weeks, if not 39 weeks already. So I knew that I had to be looking for these signs as the day came closer for me to go into labor. One of the biggest scares in any girl's pregnancy is finding blood discharge in any moment in your pregnancy. Right away I called my doctor. Well, the first thing I did was I went ahead and I told my husband, I'm bleeding. And my mother-in-law and my husband just stood up right away and they're like, it's time. So I started shaking. I was shaking. I was nervous. I didn't know what to think. I was scared because it was blood and it was really red. And so we went ahead and we called our doctor. Doctor said, you need to come to the hospital as soon as possible. Note that I live 40 to 45 minutes away from my hospital, so the drive there, just the thought of the drive there just freaked me out because I thought, you know, this is something serious. I need to be there right now. I can't wait too long. So we went ahead and started getting our stuff ready. Thankfully, I had already packed my hospital bag and everything was ready to go, but I still felt like I needed to shower. So I got out of the shower and I said, you know what, I'm gonna shower because this could be it, this could be the day, and I want to make sure that I smell good, I smell clean, you know, all that good stuff that when you're in labor you don't even care about, but I'll talk about that later. And so yeah, I went ahead and showered, and then we went ahead and got in the car and we drove to the hospital. We got to the hospital, then we went through the ER. They admitted me right away. No, they did not admit me right away. They took me in right away. The took me to triage and then labor and delivery. And yeah, they went ahead and checked me. They asked me, you know, about the details and stuff. And yeah, they just put me in the bed with the belt and hearing the baby's heartbeat. Baby's perfectly fine. He's chilling. I'm freaking out. They tell me to calm down. My blood pressure was high. And yeah, then they checked me. They checked to see if I had dilated. And they're like, yeah, you're burning at a 2, if that. You need to go back home. If the bleeding consistently comes back, then you give us a call and you come back, but you are not in labor. So I was like, great. We just drove all the way over here, break down all our family members. Everybody thought it was a day, and for it to not be it, I was like, great. So you know what? And I was like, it happens. This is our first pregnancy. We don't know what to expect. So, okay. So we went back home. The bleeding subsided and everything was cool. Sunday came around, the daytime, everything was fine. I had stopped bleeding little by little. It was just subsiding. And then the night came around, maybe around 7, maybe close to 8 in the night. I started feeling pains, like kind of like the pain that you feel when you're in your period. And I was like, well, I have read that the contractions feel like period cramps. So I was like, okay. So I started getting some. They were not close in time. Maybe like every 5 minutes. No. Maybe every 5 minutes I was getting contractions. But it was just like a breeze. I was like, okay, this is what everybody cries about. Come on. You know, I was like, I could do this. I'm good, you know. So it started on Sunday and it kept going and going the whole night. So what do you know? I called my doctor and I was like, hey, I'm having contractions. It seems like they're 3 minutes apart. They're not too intense. They're like, oh no, okay, you have to come to the hospital. So I was like, are you sure? I was just there last night. They told me I was not in labor. So like, you know, just go to be safe. Better safe than sorry. So then again, we go ahead and drive back to the hospital. No, we don't live 5 minutes from the hospital. So we went ahead and we drove to the hospital. And then, yep, they checked me. They're like, no, your contractions are not hard enough and they're not close in time apart. So they have to be closer and more tenser. So I was like, great. So I was like, so what do I do now? They're like, well, you just have to, you are starting to have early signs of labor, but you're not in active labor yet. And for that, we cannot admit you. I was like, really? Are you serious? So I was like, okay, cool. Let's go back home. So we went ahead, we went back home, we came home, we were so tired, you know, spending some time at the hospital, and then to come back home, it was just late. My husband had just gotten off work. So it was just very tiring and emotionally and just physically. So then the days went by and then the same thing happened so that was Sunday. Then Monday came around. I had the pains, but they were stronger. But I decided to not go to the hospital and say, you know, I could suck this up. And they told me they had to be closer in time. So I started looking for the for them to be closer in time and to last at least a minute, because they were not lasting a minute. They were lasting, if that, at that time, like 30 seconds, and then they would leave, and they were not stronger. They were not strong enough. So then after that, Monday, then Tuesday came around, and I was like, oh crap, Tuesday, they were harder. My mom was in town, so we're like, you know what? Let's go to the hospital. I woke up that morning, and then I told my husband, I need to be at the hospital today. I feel like the day is just getting closer, and I think I just should be around the campus just in case of anything, because he had to go to work. So of course I wouldn't put myself to drive if I had strong contractions and I needed to go to the hospital. Thankfully, my mom was in town, my mother-in-law has been in town, and my sister-in-law was always on the call. So I was like, you know what, let's just go to the hospital. So we went, they checked me, they're like, you're not far enough dilated, your contractions are not close in time yet, but it looks like you are getting closer and closer. And I was like, great. By that time, the labor and delivery triage nurses already knew who I was, and I had to be the top talk of their main subject of talking in their section. I wouldn't doubt it, but enough of that. So yeah, so I was like, great. It doesn't seem like it's happening, but at this time around, my contractions were lasting at least 45 seconds long. And so they told me, go ahead and go walk it out, and just, go through it. And then when you feel like there are, you know, more than a minute long, or at least a minute, then you need to come back and then we'll check you. Note that every single time I had to go, we had to go in through the ER, so it was just like a whole long process. It was very tiring for me itself, because every single time that I would be seen, I thought it would be like, yes, this is it, this is it, this is it. So it was very emotionally for me hard, because I felt like I was just not listening to my body. Like, I thought that I was just playing games with my mind. And so I started feeling very, like, you can say a little sad, because I was just so excited already to meet him. But at the same time, I felt like I was rushing him. So, yeah. So then at that moment, I just decided to just, sorry. I decided to just completely block everybody's comments. I decided to just completely block, everything around me, just like the time, just everything, the pain, the hunger, everything. And then I just, I just started talking to my baby, and at that time, it was probably like Tuesday afternoon, and it was Tuesday afternoon, and I decided to go walk on my own around the hospital, and I decided to really just, use this little time that I had left with my baby in my tummy, because I knew that in me, deep down, that the day was getting close for me to see him. And a part of me just felt like I felt like a bully. Like, I felt like I was pushing him too much, And it's really important to just remember when you're pregnant that every single second, every single minute that you're pregnant is precious. And it's hard, because you're trapped in a moment where you're just ready to meet your baby, and you just want him to just get here, and rush things. But at the same time, you start to think, and it's you that you're pregnant, your feelings matter, and you just think to yourself, like, this is it. Once he's out, my baby's gonna start growing, and it's not really baby anymore. You start thinking all these things. So, I decided to, at that moment, to just go walk. It was a very beautiful, cold morning, afternoon. So I decided to just walk around the hospital, and I used this time to just meditate and talk to my baby, and I started just telling him that I love him, and that, whenever he decided to come was the perfect time, and all these things. And I decided to just connect with my body and my baby, as one, instead of having my mind over here, instead of having, my pain thoughts over here. Just started to embrace everything together. So every single time that I would feel a contraction, I would just start feeling like I had more power, like my body was doing what it's supposed to do, and I started just trusting the process as much as the contractions would hurt. So then the time went by, and then we started just, letting the hours go by. The contractions started getting harder. The contractions started getting closer in time, and they were lasting a long time. And I was just very drained. Just to mention that since the day that I started feeling contractions, since Sunday that I started labor, I had not rested enough. And, I was very drained emotionally. I was very drained physically, and just everything was just in the sky. So fast forward to that night. We came back home on Tuesday. We decided to go again one more time to the triage and labor and delivery. They already knew who I was. They're like, okay, let her come back. They checked me, and then I had dilated. I think at that time I was at 4 or 3 centimeters. They're like, you know what? I know we know that you have been here a couple times. We know that you have been walking, but the nurse was just amazing. She told me, I just need you to relax now. Your body is in like this stage where it just needs to be relaxed because you're so tense now with all these contractions, how hard they're getting. It's not letting your body dilate enough or fast enough how it should be. So I was like, well, what do I do? Everybody's telling me to walk. Everybody's telling me to do squats, to stretch, What do I do? She told me what I would suggest for you to do is to go home, get a nice meal, take a hot bath, and just relax. And I said, how do I relax? She said, you need to find a way to just relax because that's the only way that you're going to speed it up. And then I agreed. And then I came back home that night. I was very disappointed. I really thought that day was the day. That day I had just turned 40 weeks. And I said, okay, I had already prepared myself mentally and everything, and then I just decided to just take it in and just let my baby do what it was supposed to do and let my body and trust God that He was taking control. And we came back home. My mother had left back home, and I took a hot bath. I just tried to relax, but I just could not relax. I just submerged myself into the warm, hot water. Decided to just try to meditate. I even decided to sleep in the living room with the sofa because I didn't want to be in my bed. It was just very uncomfortable. And so the night went by. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, I was just in the floor almost crying. I kid you not, I could not stand it. It was just like a very sharp, shocking feeling that you feel, and it's just like it grabs you and just squeezes you and holds it. There's nothing you can do to stop it. And so I was just trying to breathe and relax and just concentrate, but it was just very difficult. So around 3 in the morning, almost 3:30, I decided to come and wake my husband up, and I told him, that's it, I'm done, I've had enough, let's go to the hospital, and this is it, this is the day. So he's like, are you sure? He got up, he got ready, we went to the hospital, and at that time I was at 5 centimeters, and I told him, you know what, I want to be admitted. I need some pain pills. I need some medication. She's like, okay. So she went ahead and she talked to my doctor, and then my doctor agreed to admit me. So at that moment, I was like, finally, this is it. I'm so tired and I'm so ready to meet my baby. So we went ahead and we told all our family members that all those visits was worth it to now, being Wednesday in the madrugada, that was our time. So we were admitted, and then I agreed to receive Pitocin to just to speed up the process. At that moment, I was at 5, so then I told him, you know what, I need to relax. I cannot relax. Give me the epidural. My plans were not to take the epidural, to just suck it up into as much as I could and not take it. But at that moment, I was thinking, this is my body. This is something that I am trusting in medicine to do for me and my body and my baby. And I knew that the only way that I could relax and just find myself at ease was if I took a nap. I had not napped since Sunday in the night. So it was really hard for me to just find myself without sleep. So then they agreed, and they brought in this guy. He was very generous, very, very smart, he knew what he was doing. You could tell he had been doing this for years. So at that moment, I'm just putting myself in God's hands. I heard all these horrible stories. I've heard, everything go wrong, and just all these nerves are just running through me. And the nurse is talking to me. She's trying to make me come into, ease and just calm me down. And at that time, I was just saying, you know what? This is it. I'm just gonna calm down. She put it in. Did not feel anything, and I praise God for that. Everything went perfect. The needle that they do put in through your hand for the IV, that one hurt a lot, but whatever. So as soon as he gave me that, everything just speeded up beautifully. At that time, when he came in to put me the epidural, I was already at 7 centimeters. So I had only 3 more centimeters to go, but I needed to sleep. So as soon as he gave me that, I took a nap. Things just started running quickly. I was admitted almost at 4:40 in the morning, 4:30 something in the morning. And I was considered already active labor. My nurse switched shifts, so I had the nurse that admitted me. Then I had another nurse come in at 7 in the morning, which her name is VINNY. She is at the Loma Linda Hospital in Marietta. And if you are planning to deliver there, I hope that you have her as your nurse. She is amazing, and I just want to give her a huge shout out, because without her, I wouldn't have been able to just have the most beautiful experience of labor I could have ever imagined. And so she was amazing. She was, she made me forget about all the negative. She made me forget about the pain. And so she started checking me. She was very kind, very funny. She even made my husband feel very comfortable, to the point that me and my husband did labor on our own. It was just so beautiful. And I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. So around one something, they told me, you know what, we're gonna start pushing around 2, because I had already dilated to 10, and she just wanted me to just stay there and for me to be able to feel the contractions. Even though I had the epidural, it starts to wear out after some time. So around 2 o'clock, my epidural had already worn out, so I could still feel contractions. So she told me, if you can feel the contractions, I want you to push. So, they put me into position, they lay me back, they had my feet up, they put these little things for my feet to go up. And so she started, coaching me and telling me to breathe and telling me to push, and everything just went beautiful. I can't explain it. I just can't explain it. And then she started, messing around with the machines and doing stuff. And then I would tell my husband, okay, I feel a contraction. He would tell me, okay. He would look at the screen. He would tell me, okay, go. And so it was just so nice, because it was just a team effort between both of us. And it was just everything that I wanted it to be. And then, by the time that the doctor comes, the baby's practically almost out. So that's what happened in my case. My husband and I had been, pushing for 15 minutes or so. And then, it was about 15 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And at the time, the doctor's rushing in to come in, when my husband told me I could see his head, I could see his hair. And I was like, are you kidding me? So at that moment, I'm like, oh, here it goes. This is it. So I start pushing, and then the doctor's like, okay, this is it. And literally, I feel like this fire. And now I get it when people call it the ring of fire, when the baby's head is crowning right there. And I push and push, and my baby came out after almost 30 minutes of pushing. My baby was, put into my skin, and it was the most beautiful moment of my life. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't, just believe this miracle. How out of nothing, a little baby boy had been formed. And at 2:08 in the afternoon, February 14, 2018, my baby boy was born. I wouldn't want my story to be any much different, because I think that everything we went through is what made it special and made this story much more exciting. And it has some spices and juices to it that I feel the story cannot be copied or duplicated in any way, because it's just so unique. And now my baby boy is about to be 2 weeks old, and ever since I laid eyes on him, everything's been beautiful, and I'm just very thankful, and I feel very blessed because everything went not like how I pictured a fairy tale. Because I knew, things happen, things get dirty, but everything was perfect. And now, as a new mom, everything's just different. Your mindset changes, your priorities change, your body changes, everything just changes around you. Everything, relationships change. People come close to you that were close to you. People that were close to you somehow aren't so close to you anymore. But I just want to thank you guys for, watching this and hearing my story, our story. And I just feel very blessed because I know a lot of you guys had been keeping us in prayer and sending good thoughts, and you guys were all worried, and just thank you guys so much. We couldn't really record or take pictures because they didn't allow in my hospital that I delivered. They didn't allow any of that. But every single moment that I went through is in my mind, and is photographed behind my mind and in my heart. And I hope that you guys were able to feel like you were there with us. And if you are interested in, seeing how a new mom goes through a day in a new mom's life, let me know in the comments below. If you want to know what it's like to be with a newborn, let me know. Any questions or things that you would like to know of what it's like to, the aftermath of giving birth, or just a new week with the newborn, or things like that, let me know in the comments below. I would love to share that with you guys. And stay tuned because I plan on showing him on video soon, so you guys can really see him and meet him. So thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys for following our journey. I do this not for to get so much followers, but I do this because I'm planning to just build content and like a little diary for my baby boy to watch one day, and for us too, so we have a place to reference back to these memories. So thank you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to be notified for more content, just don't forget to subscribe and like so you can be notified. Thank you guys. Bye.